Hi guys, girls, non-binds, welcome back to my channel. I am Leah Solmaz. This is episode 3 of the How to Draw tutorial series, and in this episode we will be learning how to draw faces. If you are following along, what you will need is a pencil and some paper. The awkward thing with faces is there are so many of them. I mean, there's like, what, 6 billion, 7 billion people on the planet? So that's 7 billion different faces. Unless like they're twins and doppelgangers and clones. So yeah, I'll be teaching the basics of drawing faces. So let's just dive in. Yeah, let's just start with a basic male face. Now, male faces tend to be more square. Especially in like comic book, cartoon styles of drawing, they are more square. So that's just a basic square. And female faces tend to be a bit more oval with a less defined jawline. So with the male face, let's just round off these edges because no one walks around with a square head unless they're like Lego people or I don't know. Yeah, using the rule of thirds because all faces can be broken down into the rule of thirds. So just divide that and we'll divide that into a 9 grid rule of thirds. Don't like that line, that's too high. So yeah, usually the eyes fall on the fireworks? The celebration of drawing faces, maybe, I don't know. Wow. I think they've died down. So yeah, getting back to the drawings at hand. So usually the eyes fall on the first row, so just mark those out, and these are just straight on poses. I can show you how to do side profiles and all that good stuff. Yeah, so going with the eyes, let's just make them basic eye-like shapes. And the nose usually falls just above that second row. With female, the female's got quite a long face, so let's just kind of bring her chin up a bit and bring that bottom. Yeah, so just basic mapping, guys, sketching of where mouth should be, which is usually just below, and then you leave a slight gap for the indent. And yeah, so that's just a basic. Let's just do some stereotypical short hair on the guy. A bit messy, isn't it, that? But let's just tidy him up and give him a bit of a cool sweep to the side. Now ears, I tend to just kind of follow the line of the face, so the line of the cheekbone just there, and then just swoop that down and swoop that down. And again with the female, slightly smaller ears than the male and a bit more curved. So with the cartoon men, women, they are usually defined by either a square face, square features for the male. Like good examples of that would be like Batman. So he has a very square face for some reason, I don't know why, but Johnny Bravo comes to mind as well. He's got a very square face. So especially in cartoon comic book style artwork, men tend to have more square features than women. So yeah, I just think squares for masculine and circular features for women. And that's Let's give her some basic, stereotypical long hair. We'll just swoop down the neck, and again with the man, just follow the neckline down. Men tend to have thicker necks, but we're just focusing on the face, so let's just kind of define this. So yeah, look a bit dead, don't they? So let's just define the male's nostrils a bit. So let's give him a low brow. So basically his eyebrows, the eyebrow bone is kind of closer to his eyelid, his upper eyelid. And yeah, with stereotypical men in cartoons, they tend to either have no lips at all or just very thin lips. So let's just give him some thin lips. And I mean, we can even give him a bit of a dimple in his chin there, and just bring down the line of his jawbone so it's quite pronounced jawline. But yeah, I mean, just from those basic shapes. So let's work on this female because she looks a bit sad, doesn't she? So let's give her some nice eyebrows. Obviously, in cartoon drawing, women's eyebrows are usually just a line. They're never really much more than that. And yeah, in your good old classic cartoons, women have eyelashes. Let's just highlight that. I mean, we can even go a bit more for it and give her a bit of eyeline on the bottom lid as well. Now, ideally I wanted the eyebrows to be a bit more like that, but it might be a bit too late for that. As you can tell by now, I don't really use words. I don't really use an eraser, so let's just try and see what we can fix by moving some of the lines around. Of course, if you want to use an eraser, by all means do. It's just kind of how I've been taught, and that's kind of my pattern, I guess, now. So yeah, let's give her a bit of a button nose. So in typical comic drawing, style drawing anyway, you kind of do a little wow. If ever there was the Brummy, it's coming out now. So little round nostrils, and then this kind of little semicircle for the nose. She's got a bit of a button nose there. And yeah, let's give her some stereotypical big lips. Usually with women's lips, keep them in line with the size of the nostrils, and it just makes for a better pair of lips, I guess. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. You know me, ever the articulate? Not. So yeah, there's our basic brows a bit, forehead even. So let's just shape her head, frame her face a bit more. There. So you've got a stereotypical male and a stereotypical female. So yeah, if we wanted to kind of shade in their faces, so I'll show you the smudging technique. You can buy, they're called blending tools, so that's what one of those looks like. I was taught, I never knew what one of those blending tools were up until like last year. So we're just going to shade in. What I tend to do is kind of shade the outline of the face and just without trying to lose too much of the detail, because you can go overboard with shading as well. So we're going to shade just at the side of the nose, just to make it more pronounced. And we're not going to do any shading to the front part of the nose, because that is kind of like the furthest point, closest point. So yeah, it's just a little bit of a... I'm not drawing from reference, this is just kind of... yeah, I've drawn enough like faces and things over the years that I've just got kind of a set face set up to draw. I don't know if that makes any sense whatsoever. So let's just so yeah, just around the nostrils. Now if you were to give that a bit more of a pronounced shadow, it would make his nostrils seem a lot larger, whereas if you keep a smaller shadow, the nostrils will be more condensed, I guess. Obviously in real life, you know, women, men, non-binds, we have different size cheekbones and all sorts, so with the female face, we'll just give a bit of a light shading under where her cheekbones would be. So cheekbones usually fall in line with that ear. And we want to kind of give her a high lid, upper lid even. And yeah, where else do we want to shade? Just beneath the lip, the lower lip. If we give a bit of shading to there, it makes the bottom lip stand out a bit more. And just underneath the nose. I wouldn't go overboard with a female's nostrils, but it's down to personal preference, and if you're drawing from reference, obviously just try and follow the shading of the face from that. Now if we want to give a bit more life to the hair, what we can do is just add a bit of a shadow to where the hair, like give the hair a bit more volume. Just add a bit of a shadow to where it kind of covers the face. So imagine if the point of light was from there, and same here, so point of light from here. His hair, I imagine, is quite slicked back, quite a clean cut guy, so shadow would fall more on this side of his face. And again, just under the nose. I mean, we can give him a bit of an indent there with shadows, and obviously under his chin, make his face stand out more from his neck, and the same with this lady here. Just put a light bit of shadow here. So I'm not going to define the faces too much just yet, and I'll show you why. So I don't know if you caught my last video, but I said one of the tips to bring in a face to life even is making sure there's light reflected in the eyes. This just helps bring the face a bit more character. So hopefully this works okay. Now we're going to smudge just lightly to just kind of bring the shadows. Now I like smudging with my finger. I haven't even used the blending tool. I like the kind of I don't know what the right word would be, but it just feels like you've got more part in the drawing, if that makes sense, if you're smudging with your finger opposed to using like fancy tools and things. This is the beauty of art. You don't need all of the fancy stuff that's kind of promoted out there. you just need a good old pencil and some paper, and you can do some quite cool things with it. So we've brought out like the first bit of shadowing. Now we can go back in and add some more sketch lines just to bring out where we want the darker places. So more definite shadows, that's probably a better way of putting it. Let's just give him a bit more of a defined cheekbone there. And let's just put a light bit of shadow there. So going back in with the finger. Yep, I said it. No. Just smudging. And you can kind of rub off the excess pencil that has accumulated on your finger into areas where you want there to be a light bit of shadowing, nothing major. So underneath the chin we do want it to be a lot darker so his face stands out from his neck. And yeah, so from that light, I mean not much his neck would be illuminated, apart from his Adam's apple maybe. And that's probably the heaviest line I've done so far. Not too bad. Let's just bring his face forward a bit more. Okay, and then we're going to smooth out those lines. He can go into his hair. So this side of his head will be a lot darker, regardless of if he's light or dark head. It will be a lot darker. Now what's happening with my pencil? And yeah, let's just bring out the lines a bit more on this side of his face. And then the light's shining this side, so we can just do some light lines just to bring out that part of his hair. And just underneath his ear on that side, and just underneath that right hand cheekbone. And yeah, let's bring out his features a bit more now. So under his lip will be a lot darker because of the way the light's shining, and let's just smooth out that line a bit more, shadow even. And yeah, now for the fun bit, to bring his eyes a bit more to life. I'm going to make his upper lid a lot darker than previous, so it makes his brow line, his brow bone even, more pronounced. And let's just darken his eyebrows a bit more, thicken them out. And we'll define his pupils. And his this side of his nose, because the way the light's shining, it'll be a lot darker on this side. So using the size of the shadow, we can adjust the size of his nose. That's the beauty of using shadows, especially on faces and things. And yeah, he looks a bit more, there looks like there's a bit more character to him. using shading. So finishing off the female's face. I don't want her face to be too harsh, so soft lines with the female. I don't know if I said that properly then. Now I'm just going to be pedantic and go in with my black ink pen and just bring those lines, shadow lines a bit more. So those are just basic comic book style cartoon straight on faces. When I say a straight on face, it's not turned to the side, it's not turned up, down, it's just straight on. Your side profile is usually, you can only see one eye, your nose and mouth, and it's that side profile. I wish I was a lot more articulate, that I could like explain it better, but yeah, so just kind of taking that stereotypical male face and doing a side profile. Let's put where the brow is, and that gives us a bit more of an idea. It does help to kind of have a basic, like I say, a basic anatomy book. Like I've got this Grey's Anatomy, and it helps to kind of study the basics of human anatomy when drawing humans. That was me getting distracted. So going back to the side profile. Men tend to have a muscle in the back of their neck that make their head shape seem wider than a woman's, especially on a side profile. So that's really exaggerated, that muscle, but I can't actually remember why they have it. It's something. Stereotypical male side profile. Stereotypical female profile, so again, just keeping the lines a bit more softer for the female. You can draw all kinds of hairstyles now if you want to give him like an afro. Then yeah, if we wanted to kind of go a bit more Grace Jones with this lady. I think I'm going to wrap it up at that. So yeah, that was a super long video. Yeah, if you found that helpful, do subscribe, guys, girls, non-binds. So yeah, have a look at the faces around you. Do draw from reference if you want to. Yeah, hopefully that helped. So that's it. Stay awesome, stay classy, be kind, and bye. Yeah, boom. Take one. Like, what, that? I think I need a little bit of a coffee sip and then my brain will kick in again. Really, I'm just getting, I don't know if I'm getting more awkward, I don't know if I'm getting more articulate, I don't actually know. No, we're not at that stage yet, we're not at that stage. So hopefully I can edit this video to make it coherent, hopefully.